Hello, this is the music of Final Fantasy, but I'm using it for the Fisherman, the Soul Part 10. And the Soul said to him, "When I left thee, I turned my face to the east, and journeyed. From the east cometh everything that is wise. 6 days I journeyed. And on the morning of the 7th day I came to a hill, as is in the country of the Tartars, sat down under the shade of a tamarisk tree, to shelter myself from the sun. The land was dry, and burnt up with the heat. The people went to and fro over the plain like flies, crawling upon a disk of polished copper. When it was noon, a cloud of red dust rose up from the flat rim of the lamp. When the Tartars saw it, they strung their painted bows, and having leapt upon their little horses, they galloped to meet it." What are we seeing? I don't know. The women fled screaming to the wagons and hid themselves behind the fell curtains. At twilight, the Tartars returned, but 5 of them were missing, and of those that came back, not a few had been wounded. They harnessed their horses to the wagons and drove hastily away. 3 jackals came out of a cave and peered after them. Then they sniffed up the air with their nostrils and trotted off in the opposite direction. When the moon rose, I saw a campfire burning on the plain and went towards it. A company of merchants were seated round it on carpets. Their camels were picketed behind them, and the negroes who were their servants were pitching tents of tan skin upon the sand, making a high wall of the prickly pear. As I came near them, the chief of the merchants rose up and drew his sword, and asked me my business. I answered that I was a prince in my own land, and that I had escaped from the Tartars, who had sought to make me their slave. The chief smiled, and showed me 5 heads fixed upon long reeds of bamboo, a bit like in Predator, I think, with the ears. Then he asked me who was the prophet of God, and I answered him, "Mohammed." When he heard the name of the false prophet, he bowed and took me by the hand and placed me by his side. The negro brought me some mare's milk in a wooden dish and a piece of lamb's flesh roasted.